And then it sounds like the Bengals are going to be calling around some other free agent quarterbacks since Joe Burrow's injury is going to be out. It's going to take him out at least a minimum of 3 months. So it'll be curious to see on what the Bengals do in the next 2 weeks, and because I'm sure they're gonna stick with Jake Browning for the time being. Because I think 2 years ago he was like Joe Burrow got hurt late in the year, and then Jake Browning had to be the starting quarterback for the Bengals. But now Jake Browning's going to have to be the quarterback for most of the year until about December, I think, right? Just September, October, I guess November. So actually, it'd be about roughly November. Maybe Joe Burrow, if he heals enough and it's tough enough, maybe he'll come back a little bit earlier than that. It'll be interesting to see what the Bengals will look like with Jake Browning as their QB right now. If they're going to sign anybody, trade for anybody, obviously there are going to be some rumors going around about should the Bengals trade for Kirk Cousins, or should the Bengals do this, or should the Bengals sign this quarterback, or there's going to be some conversations about who the Bengals should be bringing in to make sure they don't have like a bad season just because Jake Browning is their quarterback, which I think Jake Browning's okay. He's going to win him a couple games for sure just because of all the talent that's around him. Because they have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and they have solid tight ends. Obviously, the offensive line's not very good. And I think, like I said, from my initial reaction from week 1 to potentially to this week's, the Bengals defense is still okay. I think there was still improvement from last. I think they actually still got plenty of turnovers. So, like I said, maybe they did improve the defense if they're actually getting turnovers and all that. So, but anyways, let's see. As for Jacksonville, there was a controversial call that was made in the fourth quarter, which I saw the clip and I haven't really done a deep dive onto it, where Travis Hunter was called for a pass interference, and it definitely looked like from the first time I watched it, it didn't really look like pass interference at all. It looked pretty clean. Looked like it was a good defensive play, but the refs saw it differently and they called pass interference on Travis Hunter. And I'm sure a lot of Jacksonville fans have every right to be mad about the call. If it sort of impacted the way you were going to win that game, then absolutely you can be mad as all as you want. But on the other hand, I think Trevor Lawrence had a pretty good game besides having a couple turnovers, one of them not being his fault, I believe, kind of hearing and reading about, because he had 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. He had 271 yards throwing, and he was 24 for 42. So I don't know what to really make much about this game otherwise, because like I said, I was kind of watching it, but not really. So I can't give you my full analysis and give you more of a breakdown on this game. I wish I could. Honestly, I would have watched any other games besides having to watch. If I would have known the Bears were going to lose the way they did yesterday, I would have watched some other games and been more locked in. But I'm too dedicated of a fan